Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today we continue playing our Division series. Now previously I've been doing the new DLC divisions, so you might be surprised to see 16th Panzer now. And the simple reason for why I do this is, you know, like in terms of what you guys get out of it, other than, you know, wanting to see me playing those, there's not that much, right? The new DLC divisions have been played and showcased by pretty much every larger content creator, and that a while ago when they came out. So I'm lagging behind anyway in that regard. But also, I'm just having a lot of fun with some of these lower tier divisions, and I want to just go back to that really and enjoy my time with those. So yeah, for those of you who are new to the series, we are. The goal is relatively simple. I try to play our division, and hopefully that makes me a bit of a better player, since I have to think differently, playing different kind of divisions, or at least learn to do that. So far, that has not always worked very well. And on top of that, you know, it also means that I have experience with most divisions, which hopefully makes it easier for me to play against those divisions. Actually knowing them helps a lot. So yeah, and I'm going to do that from the lowest tier to the highest tier with the tier list that you can see right here. This is by Colonel Koenig. This is not for quick play. I'm going to make a quick play tier list relatively soon, but this one is just for tournaments. Nonetheless, it's a good indicator, and I like to use that for that because, you know, I need some sort of tier list to work with. And yeah, following this, we're gonna play a division. Now, this, of course, previously, I have used a different tier list because, of course, this now has changed with all the latest balancing patches and whatnot. So some of the divisions that I have played are in higher tiers than they used to be. Of course, I have also played some divisions that were not in low tiers at some points. So we have some different content, but we are now in a D tier again because there are, this is where the lowest divisions that I have not played yet actually are. Actually, never mind, that's Armia Craiova in E tier, so we're going to go back to that one next, but now we're just going to cover D tier, of which I think NOV has been covered, 19th tank has been covered, and then the remaining 3 have not yet been covered, so we're going to start with those, 16th Panzer. But now it's time to stop with all the unnecessary talking, and let's get into it. So what are my first impressions of this division? Well, the division is obviously garbage. And not because it has bad units. Like, if you look at it, you know, you have German infantry, which is German infantry at the end of the day. It's good infantry. You have some good German tanks, at least decent ones these days. You have some other good options, like some good artillery options, some good AA, good planes. But the combination just, there's things that are missing that you really need. And the combination is really just good for one thing, and that's 2K. And even at that, it kind of sucks. And what's special about this division, of course, is it is one of only 2 divisions with the Königstieger H, so the heavier version of the Königstieger with 200mm of armor, and the other one being Kampfgruppe von Tettau, which obviously is not that great, although I really like that one. And so you would think that this is good at 2K now, but first of all, Königstiegers, at least in 1-1, are really not good, actually. Still take it, but they're not that good. But the rest of the 2K is really underwhelming. All you have is Tigers. There's no other options there. So this is one of the issues, because you're going to lose against a lot of dedicated 2K divisions. There's really not that much out. Like, you don't have an abundance of Tigers. And then you have the Guerrilla, which is also fine, right? You have 2K2, you have 2K2. It's just none of these are really all that good. So you can't really put this in that, this is the D2K division role. Is it good for mid-range, though? Panzer force and Stuks are okay, but they're nothing outstanding, and you don't really have a ton of infantry for that, and CQC you can forget about anyway. It's just in a spot where there are some crucial tools missing, and then a lot of tools kind of not really matching with the others. This is where this division kind of falls. So I think it's really bad. It's just you have some strong individual units, but the combination as a whole is really bad. This is where I would put this division. I think it will really struggle. Like, CQC, no chance. Mid-range, it has fighting power, it has staying power, but it will struggle nonetheless. Where I can see this actually working is against division that don't have good AA. To the point where you can actually bully them, or very, very expensive AA that you can actually bully with those cheaper planes that you have. And then you can combine that with some of your good artillery, and that can definitely do the work. And yeah, Of course, you can bully not good 2k divisions at 2k, but that is just very situational. Now, of course, for quick play, this probably would not be as low as it is here, because you have a little bit of flexibility. It will still not rank it super highly. It's definitely not as bad as it is in the tier list, because again, you do have 2k fighting power, which some divisions really lack, a good amount of them actually. That does that, but still, it has its issues. Now, you have some explosive potential at the start with the SPW, so that can help you definitely. So I think on maps where it is important to take key positions early on, kind of rush in, grab ground, and then just have a grind where maybe your Tigers can kind of tank a little bit for you. Maybe this division can work, right? Then you also have some decent artillery to help with that. It just doesn't do that phenomenally, but at least it can do the work over there. Another issue that I can see is, of course, the AA. It's expensive, and yeah, it's easy to get air. This is actually why I take 5, but we can go into the build now. So over here, it's relatively simple. We don't have a ton of Panzer force. We have 3 cars to be precise, 1 in the recon tab, the leader, and the regular card. And I just decided to have 1 in each phase, so that we at least, have recon everywhere a little bit. That we have a Panzer with a turret, like a tank with a turret, in every phase. That is also a little bit cheaper, although the Afghan Panzer 4J is really not that much cheaper than Stück 3 at this point. Of course, recon car are kind of a must take. Now, the Aufklärer, I have not checked, or we can take them in the SPW2 to do. Maybe we should though, but the problem is that's a 3-point slot, and I don't really know if we can afford those. It's getting pricey for sure. So probably we have to leave it as it is, where I take the Beobachter, which no, cannot come in the SPW2. So there's that. But yeah, either way. So this is what I want to take, because, I think we definitely need something light, because if you look at the AT tab, light armor can be an issue for this division, I think. Now, with the SPWs, it's okay. So this is why I haven't said that at the start. I don't think light armor is necessarily counter this division with the presence of those, if you use them correctly in that scenario. But it can definitely be. So those are crucial. And again, for rushing, they can also be very useful, and that can also give a crucial element to that of speed and early early strength to this division that you might really need. And yeah, because it's getting expensive. Yeah, if this division had a 2-point slot, it would be a lot better, because then it can take the Aufklärer in the SPW22. Now I do have to take the Beobachter without an SPW22. I just can't justify dropping units here. Maybe the King Tiger. Even that is a 2-point slot. So I would have to drop 2 units to afford the SPW22 with the recon, which is not worth it. Or drop one of these, which is not worth it either, in my opinion. Now, infantry tab, of course, is a big struggle, as you can see. We don't have a lot of it, and we don't have the best. Now, one thing that we could maybe do, we get 21. It's only 3 more. We got 2 more in A phase, so it's actually not really worth it taking in C phase for that 1 additional unit. B phase, B phase, we actually have the largest effect with 4. But the problem is, I kind of want to have more AT on my infantry in B phase, since it's still a phase where this might be very crucial. And of course, I want to have the strong machine guns in B phase. So I think we leave it as it is. But yeah, as you can see, we have the Pioneers, we have the Sturmpires, and then just Panzergrenz, no leader. It's just too expensive. Even this is already very expensive. Another thing that I forgot when talking about my personal division, of course, this division has, it definitely has profited from some of the buffs, but it just didn't help the division where it needed, unfortunately, except for the Pioneer and Sturmpire buff. That definitely helped. Tank tab, yeah, as you can see, we can take a ton of King Tiger H's, which is really not worth it. We can have 1 more Tiger, 1 more Stück leader. This is not an issue. I think we have enough medium tanks as it is. We take Tigers nonetheless, because of course we wanna, if you can't even leverage a 2k, which for quick play I always wanna have 2k in there anyway if I can, since we don't know the map and matchup. But if you can't even use that, then this division sucks even more. So you definitely want to have something there for that. And then we take the 1 King Tiger, because in the right matchup, it can really be very oppressive. It is mostly a bad call taking it, but we're playing this for fun, so we kind of want to bring out this special unit here, despite it not being that good. So that's the only reason why it's in there. Otherwise, if you build this for an optimal build, it will not be in there. except for a specific map and matchup where this can be useful. Support that we don't have flamers, which sucks. These guys can, of course, be useful sometimes, but they're very niche, very rare cases where they actually work. So there's no reason to spend points on them. We take another card of MG42s just to help out with our infantry numbers a little bit. And Guerrilla and Ammo, I think, are self-explanatory. A T-Tap, this is all we can take. We can take more Panzer tracks, but, and it wouldn't actually fault anyone for doing that. But we have those, so I hope it's okay. I take the Stug F8 here, despite it being a 3-point slot, for the simple reason that it is relatively cheap, and it can help us bringing some more firepower for cheap onto the map, which, if this division... you have to take all the good things you can. You have to take all the good things you can get, because it just lacks them. AA also struggling because it's very expensive. The 20 mil is something that I really would like to put in there, but what do we leave out for that? Right, I kind of want to have all the things near. Maybe the Hummel, and this is something I would be willing to let go. Of course, if you want to build it optimally and not for 2k, the Königstieger H, you could also go out. But yeah, because if you put that in, you have at least something cheap that can deal with some planes. Artillery tab, not that many options here. I don't see a reason taking those when we have these guys. These are good. I do want to have some regular artillery, and I'm going to take the Hummel here because the Vespa is not as good, despite being cheaper, of course. And regular mortars from radio mode, it's no point. We take the Wehrwachter because we need recon, and it is cheaper over here than over there. Air tab, we do take some fun stuff. So we have heavy bombers if we want them. We have a lot of fighter bombers if we want them. Looking at our AA tab, though, which is limited, I'd rather have some fighters ready to go, despite this being an expensive one, but it has medium resilience, it has a good loadout. This thing will actually kill, and it shouldn't die easily. So this is why I actually take this. Usually I go for fighter bombers, but they're quite a bit slower. The loadout is quite a bit worse. They're also cheaper, though, so there's actually, there's a good argument to take them, but at the moment, I just feel like we want to have those. If anything, though, I would... So the problem is this one has medium resilience, but it also has a not so great bomb loadout. The ones with the loadouts that I would like... The one with the loadout I would like to have is bad resilience. So that's my issue with that. This thing, I don't think we need the AT plane here. I really don't think. Again, if light armor is an issue, this is not the answer to it, because it's just too inefficient at doing that. And that is about it. Then we have this thing here right here. Do we want to go for heavy bombers? Yeah, but we have more expensive stuff, generally speaking, so I want to go for some cheap stuff that can actually be very oppressive. The reason why I take the Chu-87 while we also have the Chio is the Chio is super good, but even 50 cals will stop this. The same is not true for the Chu-87. So depending on what you were up against, we're going to use the Chio or the Chu-87 or both. That's the kind of strategy that we're going to use with this, and I think with that we're just going to go and play the game. And here we go, and we actually got lucky and got Split Squall. It's not great, but at least it's a map where, the 2K tools can actually work. Now the problem is we're up against this beast right here, 78 Storm, which is a perfect counter to my division at 2K. So forget about all the things I told you. Now the other thing is also that infantry. This one is just better. It has light AT, so our light armor is not that strong. So this is going to be an absolute nightmare. Now the only good thing is it's AA is expensive and we have these. So that's the one thing we have going for it. So this is where we bring the Chios, because there's no 50 cal stopping those. Yeah, but otherwise it's going to suck. Now just to keep your expectations low. So first of all, of course, this playthrough, especially with this like this series, especially with those low tier divisions, I play to have fun and try things. Obviously. I try not to take it too serious. Sometimes I did in the past, and then I have to remind myself that I shouldn't. Also, I haven't actually played a lot in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm very out of shape. So let's see how this is gonna go. I don't have the highest expectations here. So the good thing is it doesn't really have any light armor to rush me with, which, yeah, I'm very, very happy with, since that is at least one thing that I don't need to worry about. We don't have flamers, which kind of sucks, so we hope that he doesn't approach this with flamers, because then my machine gun is kind of screwed over here. Also hope that he doesn't take this right here, because then my machine gun is also kind of screwed over there. And we're going to take some infantry over there, choose to hold that. We're going to bring the GO right at the start, see what we can see, and then start bombing as soon as we can before we can bring AA or a fighter. Now, I actually need to contest this in this matchup because he can push that and he can lock me out of here if he wants to. This is not an area I really want to fight over, which is a problem because I might lose it if it pushes. I can't really push him out of here, so I think I need artillery. So either I wait and use artillery later on to get this flag, or I push him off right at the start. There's no real in between there. I can't continuously fight in this area. This is something I really want to avoid because it's going to be incredibly hard for me to do so. We're going to have to bring all our artillery spotters right at the start, which I hate. Don't like doing that at all. What we could do is have a little last armor rush over here. It's not necessarily what he expects. He might cover off that road, but he's likely not going to be covering off this one. He can see them through here, though, if he puts the AT gun over there, so that's something to be worried about a little bit. But we can try to rush in here and then take through here. Not something I've actually done all that much. I've definitely pushed up here, but I've never tried to zip through there. I think we're going to do just that. You know, we have to find a way where we can win. And I think leveraging the light armor is crucial here, and we can't do that in areas where it is expected, because he has the Panzer, which will absolutely shred those apart. So there's not really something I want to go after. Also, we have to be careful with our limited CQC infantry. We're going to bring this up here and unload it right here, just so they can stop any, you know, vehicles driving through over there. And then I think we're early. I don't really want to bring a Tiger because it's so nicely countered by the Nashorn. We kind of need to bring them if you want to contest the 2K at all. This is what is the issue here. Yeah, right. It's not a matter of do we want to. It's a matter of do we have to, and unfortunately we do. So I'm gonna bring that over here though. So first of all, we can then peek over here, and then we can decide what we want to engage. You know, we can pop up here if this is safe. We can move it over here. We can move it over here, depending on what is needed, really. Of course, it's very slow off-road, but we can actually, you know what? Let's just drive it. Let's drive it right here, and then we should shift it wherever. You'll see that he's aggressive here with the opener. We might shift it over there. But yeah, we have recon out. I wanted to put a recon there, but I think this we can now decide to not do. Eventually, this one needs to be over there. We need to be very, very careful with our recon. We really do not have a lot. Actually, we should change that probably in the next build. I think we really need more, because generally speaking, having a lot of tanks makes it even more important having more recon. Like it or not, that's just how it is. I'm gonna put one here for defensive positions and one here also for some defense. We're also gonna bring an early Stück F8 over here. We're not gonna use it aggressively though, just in a relatively safe position. And then we can put a machine gun in here. That is a great support spot. We might want to put it here actually, where I can just hold down that one axis there. Make sure that if he wants to move past that, it struggles, and then we can still hop over here if we need to. I think this is actually a safer option right there. Alright, now we're definitely going to take these guys. We're going to add some of these in to the mix. And then we rush past here. I don't want them to shoot at anything at this point. Up until they're here. And then we see through there. And we follow the whole thing with infantry. I'm going to send one Pioneer. Actually, no, I'm going to save that to go over there. I'm going to send one Panzer up here. And then the Pioneer and the other Panzer are going to go here. And then we follow up as we see fit. We should probably add a tank there into the mix as well. Oh, which we can do with a Stück F8, so this is why it's good to have those. So a cheap Stück there. It's just so that we have some firepower eventually. This one we are going to bring over here though. And then we can pop up here. Actually, we do have the tiger coming now. Do we need this then? Yeah, if the tiger's busy over here, we need that stick. It's a very expensive to... Oh, we need something for the front. Yeah, okay, so we don't need the stick then. Or it's less of a question of do we need it, but can we afford it? I'm going to take 1 Panzergren. And we're going to put that 1 Panzergren in... I guess this is going to have to do. Oop. It can be defensive over there. So we're very defensive. We're rushing into this. This is so expensive. What? Oh, I took the tiger. Yeah, this was expensive. Maybe we're not going to take the tiger. Maybe just going to take these. Or we can take a regular stick over here. I would love to have the tiger early on where it can actually generate some value, but we're going to bring one over there. We're going to bring one of the support sticks. We probably should also actually bring... it would not be bad to bring some 2 kg out as well, but can we afford it? Probably not. And some infantry. I think being at the ready over here as well is not a bad idea. And there we go. Ready. You are. And really count on the Geos to do some work for us here. Because they can be quite obnoxious. And he likely won't have any 20 mils. He's good flag for the freeze. He has 88s. He has SDK at 7.1. So they're all on the more expensive side of things. Flag 43 being still very affordable though. But that means we can actually leverage our cheap Air Force here a little bit. I don't really want to lean the JU at 87 stand because that might just not be needed. But depending on how things go, we might still buy one. If he has the A too far back in a position where the JU7 actually is going to get through and get a kill and get out, we don't need to use the GO for that. Or we can't use it, but JU7 still works. So if that is the case, we're going to use that. If that's not going to be the case, we just don't bring the Air Force anymore after that point. Maybe we can open it up again with artillery, but let's see. But yeah, I think this is the game plan, and we're gonna have to wait and see once the game starts. And it's starting, so let's go. Good luck, have fun, and let's see what we can have. So it's the Maverick Killer, which it's not a good sign for me playing Maverick, I guess. Let's see. I've never seen that player. Maybe just renamed himself and he's a known player. I have no clue. But let's see what we're up against here. Welcome to the massacre. Uh-oh. Not looking good then. I don't want to be massacred. Let's massacrated. I think that's the word. It's not healthy. It's not nice. Oh, yeah, he's rushing over there. Okay. The good thing is, we have light armor that we can send in. There's a lot of fast tools there. Oh, he's using the Ersatztruppen. Wow. Okay. Haven't seen that in a while. Pull the BF-109 up. Okay, you can surrender this. You can move in over here now. Okay, we're gonna bring this one out next. And some pioneers in here just to hold the gap. Alright, let's catch that. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Okay, I gotta say though, I really love this guy's like style. He has a theme, he's running with it. Yeah, so I can't really complain about being on the losing end here. To that, I mean, what should I say? I mean, he has a plan. He has a plan. I have to give him that. We need to get in here now, though. And unfortunately, with the limited amount of infantry that we do have, this is not the easiest task here. Actually, this is not. This is really actually difficult for me, since again, I don't really have the units for that. That's the big issue here. We need more pioneers in here, and then we can maybe fight our way back in there. Definitely need you over here. We definitely need you over here. And then we might be able to take some ground back. Okay. Can do an encirclement over there, just as it's done over here with me. We got that stabilized. That's good. And we need another pioneer in here. That's pretty much all we can do here. Oh, wait. You can see that. But Armada we can actually pen at this range, so don't mind that too much. Need some more infantry over here, though. Some over here as well. Alright, we got things stabilized for now. He's pushing in here already, though, so we're just going to have to put something over here to prevent that. There's something over here that's going to collapse, though, but the problem is we need to put something in here now, just to make sure that he can't easily break through over there and grab some things that he's not supposed to grab. Running out of HE already, which sucks. We're gonna keep this ready over here. Okay, got the martyr kill, that's good. We can call you back now. Right. That's good. Don't want it to keep shooting. Just a waste of points. Yeah, this definitely needed over here. We can shift the stick over here for support. And then we can bring the Chios out again. Just to deal with some of these Sturmschützen. Same thing over here. Or this can actually go after the Sturmschützen over here. Can go in here. We can push. And then we need to fill some gaps here as well. Need to fall back here. Because if we get too close, Sturmschützen will kill us. Did it start? No, it did not. And then we're just gonna bomb this, I think. Okay, maybe don't reveal it yourself. That's maybe a bit of a waste. If we can move this over here, we might be able to... Okay, you got that. Good, 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 good. Come on, can you hit, please? No. There's not that much that I wanted from you, but you still failed to deliver that. Okay. Bring these out to help you out now. Infantry over here. This is just patching the gaps here. Really, this is what we're playing here. This is a good angle to approach. Some more CQC coming there. Jesus. You dropped two bombs. You dropped two bombs. This is just a fiesta. Jeez. But, you know, we're going to do it that way because that's actually working. So we have to do what works, not necessarily what is... Oh, we can easily dig those out that way. That would be best here, probably. And I guess we're going to bring another cheap tank in here because we might actually need it. We're also going to bring an AT gun up here to deal with those... to efficiently deal with those martyrs. Because obviously our tanks are not the best answer there. That's good. That's good. We dig that out. And that might be... that could work. Tricky is probably going to get killed, actually. Not that much we can do about it, though. We're going to have to bring it to a safe position. There we go, armor cracked. Very unfortunate. Oh, he has an 88 now. Where is it? Over here? I wouldn't mind engaging that with my... Okay, and... Okay. Next up we're going to bring a mobile wagon, because he might still use the Air Force eventually. Is this not 88? Yep, it is. Okay. Gonna have to bring that over here. Oh, actually it's a bad idea, because we're going to reveal ourselves and show us the martyr. There we go. And then you can pop up over here again. We don't want to get killed by the 88. And we can move you over there. Geo can actually do some spotting over there. We're just holding this, which is good. We're going to pull that back. Oh, there's the 88. Which is in range. So I wouldn't mind shooting at that, actually. We cannot bring another recon unit over here. Oh. Got that Armada still there, and they don't have any vision anywhere, so that's definitely not ideal. Okay, you are really letting me down. So, oh, it has out of MG42 ammo, that's why. I was wondering. But that explains a lot. You should be able to see that now. No? Okay. And then I guess we can bring some of these in now to deal with that. Oh. Hold on, they're still alive? Did they kill the... Oh, did it walk that close? Jeez. Okay, we're gonna do it that way then. We don't have a ton of infantry left, but we're actually somehow winning this, so... actually, you are not gonna show yourself over there, because this is definitely not ideal. And we need another pack 40, which we are gonna... go with a safe way now. We're still losing, we're still not really winning, so it needs to change eventually. I forgot about that, yeah. After Chio. Okay, this is dealt with. Infantry is still holding over there. We're more careful now with our pack 40s, which we're going to bring over there. And our artillery is coming in to deal with those. We can actually now get the naval warfare. So the pack 40s, there we go. I don't mind deploying these, using these dirty tactics here, because kind of need to. After getting rushed that badly. Oh, okay. We can bring it over here and then we can actually snipe more transports, which would be good. We should still not be seen by a lot of things. Bring a strong pioneer here as well. Can really return a favor over there. And then we are, I think, going to bring a tank. 2 tanks over there, actually. Mobile wagon can stay over here. You can go over there. And, oh no, he got killed now. Okay. Didn't even see by what. Just unload as many as you can. I want to stop his push. He's not going to survive this anyway now. But the more important thing is that we can kill as many things here and hold him up as well as possible. So, that is the important part now. Okay, we need you to hold this now. Right, go after whatever you can. Do you oh no, we don't have the artillery yet. That's going to change very soon, though. Now it's time for the artillery. We're down a little bit, but it's not horrible. I think this is actually out of ammo too. Okay, so the Ersatztruppen tactic actually worked. He's pushing with something armored. I definitely need to get an eye on that. Oh, something motorized, that's what I was gonna say. Shrimp Pyre might not work anymore now. And then you can go over here. Move here to surrender, move there to surrender. Okay. Then move over here where you have to cover. You might have to smoke again. And then hop in there. Now we peek out over there. Turn off the AP.
Ich liebe den Geruch von Feuer am Morgen. Falls der Tank getroffen wird, sind wir hinüber.
Smoke this off.
Feuerzeug ist leer. Tanks voll, Zündvorrichtung gereinigt. Falls der Tank getroffen wird, sind wir hinüber. Lanzer zur Stelle.
Bring this up here.
Überprüft Waffen und Munition.
And we can see if we can just push this.
Taxi, dort müssen wir hin. Zweiter Zug einsatzbereit. Angriff!
Kill the thing in the transport first if you can.
Gefahr! Den hat's erwischt. Die Gruppe erwartet ihre Befehle. Voll auf die
Take the Geo, take those out.
Den Arsch an Hand.
Geo, take this out.
Machen uns bereit, Herr Kommandant.
Take out that unit over there. Artillery is over here. You can just start firing on whatever you can see of it. Actually, this one flags always have priority. So mortar out now. Just take out that marder and then
Direkt vor eigener Stellung.
go away.
Die Gruppe erwartet ihre Befehle.
Bring up.
Wir haben Ausfälle in unseren Reihen.
And it's over here.
Was sollen wir ohne Munition machen? Ich werde Ihnen zeigen, wie ein preußischer Offizier.
And after that, you can
Ziel
move
ausgeschaltet.
away. And try and see if you can get in there. If you can't, that's fine.
Ziel vernichtet. Siegpunkt erreicht. Raus mit euch. Ja, Hauptmann. Auf, Soldaten.
Move over here.
Zur Stelle, Hauptmann.
Good. Got that
Hier haben wir niedergeschlagen.
cleared out over there. You can fall back.
Den Arsch an Hand.
And I'm shifting these over here just to make sure that they can hold off the Stück that's there.
Verdammt, es hat mich erwischt.
Okay.
Geh einsatzbereit.
Wow, I've never seen such a fluid game, or not never seen, but I haven't played such a fluid game in quite a while. This is nuts for me. This is absolutely crazy. Definitely not something I'm used to. So this thing is being put to good use over there. We still have to be careful because of the 88s, but we can now bring these guys out.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle?
It's definitely gonna help out.
Vorwärts, Männer, aber schießt erst auf mein Kommando.
Okay, got that cleared out, weirdly enough. Bring the MG42 over there, we're gonna hold this. And now we're gonna actually start putting you to work over there, and you can go after that 88 over there. So, I'm gonna have this taken care of. We're gonna bring more Grillen out.
Geschütz einsatzbereit. Ruhe, herhören.
I need more of these guys, because, yeah, for obvious reasons. Let's go after this again, we need that flag again.
Wir müssen hier raus. Wir brauchen eine gute Feuerstellung.
Being targeted by mortar again.
Arsch an Hand.
It's okay.
Brauchen Sie ein paar Augen und Ohren, Kommandant? Lass mich raus! Ich will nach Hause! Lass mich gehen!
It's just there's us open here.
Werfer bereit.
I kind of thought so. We just try to fight along this axis. Just try to get in there. Let's see what we can do. I think it's time to finally get our Nebel in. And we can push over here. We also probably need a guerrilla over here pushing together with our Stücks. Because 88 is the only 2K at the moment that he's actually using, so won't be too worried about that. We get some Seeker Scene just to hold things up close. Actually, oh, it's just a Schützen. I was afraid it might be a Sturmschützen, which it is not. Both things are here pinned. We can move in and surrender them. It's actually not waste time here. Actually, might have something in the church tower. Slowly take this back. And push back over there. So you can push in here. Oh, actually, we already have infantry over there. We're just going to push, 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 push. That's the thing that we do right now. Gonna walk into that. You can just start shooting at whatever you can see. Oh, this is a good target here. Support, gonna bring some ammo for that. Just surrender whatever you can over there. Oh, not on Nigel. Don't mind killing that, really. Looks like it doesn't really believe in... Oh, there we go. Go and fire at will, I think. That means the Air Force is out again. That also means we can bring our tanks out again. And kill the Maverick Killer with our Maverick income. No, yeah, you're out of ammo by the looks of it. We need to resupply you as well. And we can actually target... We need some AA next to our center here, I reckon, next to our naval worth and other artillery. Let's move along here so that we can dodge the... Oh, yeah. We could go after that one. Oh, we can go after that one too. And we can push this. Let's go. We can also start pushing this since there's obviously no real defense over there. We can double actually tap that one with the thingy over there. Oh, the gorilla did go down. That's of course bad. I exposed that to Nigel. We're just gonna go down like all the good. Actually, yeah. It's not ideal because it's a little bit far, but there's two targets there. We just need to pin it. Okay, got that dealt with. Gonna go after it again. And we're just gonna go after the GO as well. The RG-33 over there as well. Gonna push this with some infantry. Gonna bring out more tanks. We need 2K now, I think. Okay, I think as long as we keep mobile, like stay mobile, we have a good chance. Oh, there's Panzer. He did deploy some now. You can go after whatever you can see over here. You are at fire at will. You are done with firing. I mean, he really got me with that one. I have to say. I did not expect that. It is just... It was a little bit too... Oh, the Nazan is still alive. I don't really want to engage that then. It was just a little bit too, like, aimlessly, I would say. And too not sustainable enough. I think that's a big part of the issue. I'm actually going to try to be very aggressive here now. I actually killed a lot of these, did not notice that. We have to tank that. We're going to bring another tank over there. And he decided to surrender. So it's again not a super fast, super long game, but it's an interesting one. Let's see. He is experienced. He's played 3,000 games. Lost half of them, still playing. I mean, if you play for this long, with that win rate. That's actually quite impressive. Impressive. Like, you know, like winning isn't all. But if you're playing a game that is like this, I think Steel Division is one of those games where, you know, you can definitely have fun and you can be happy about your good plays. And the good games that you lose, and there are still good games. I've plenty of those games that I really enjoyed and I've lost. But at the same time, it can also be incredibly frustrating. So there's that. If this is his channel strategy, though, it's quite fun. I mean, you kind of, you know, it is definitely not the best strategy, so that might explain that. But it's a fun one. It's, you know, it's innovative. I have to give him that. It's a play that you wouldn't expect with that kind of division. And I mean, you've seen how he actually took out some of my Panzer Grens, or basically rendered them useless by just my Panzer Grens running out of machine gun ammo against all the Ersatztruppen. And that rendered them into nothing more than Ersatztruppen themselves. So that was very unexpected. But it's not a play that I like personally, or that I would ever play. But it was actually fun seeing this in action. And, you know, it might well have worked. I think if he improved that a little bit, it would have worked, definitely. I think he just panicked a little bit too much because of the geos. I think actually reinforcing things with proper units early instead of like the T-26s would have really made the difference there. Like those Marder earlier on could have changed things. Now, of course, I don't think it was ever a real big threat because he's just burning through so many points, as we can also see here. I mean, the trade potential is pretty clear, but still. And he got some actual kills at the start, you know, it's not like he didn't. But a lot, you know, relying on these 88s is really bad because, yeah, like, I feel like, because they're just there and then, you know, they're an easy target. Could have gone after the one that I killed with the artillery, with the Grilli as well. And as soon as it's there, like, yeah, skies are open again. So. But yeah, SPW really paid off. These things helped me super well. Having such light armor to react quickly to such pushes is very important. If you don't have them, that is really bad. Stück did decently well, and our SPW did decently well against mostly Ersatztruppen and Bewertungs. You also brought the Bewertungs. Okay, I haven't actually noticed. I was too busy. J87. I mean, it did. Oh, it actually killed the Marder. Nice. Very nice. Pack 40 killed the 88 and Nigel. Didn't notice it killed the 88 before I used my strike, but that's one thing. This thing, oh, it actually killed a Maltier Moon as well, and an 81 Mortar, so can't really complain about that either. SPW doing some good work as well. My infantry mostly useless, but it was there. It was there too. Some of them did work. Some of them did work. We have to acknowledge that. On the other side, BF109, but didn't really pay off. Sturmschützen definitely paid off. This thing actually did quite well as well. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that my other SPWs would open up before these got in range and threat, but that wasn't really the case. So that it's just poor micro because I was actually watching part of this happening, and I decided not to stop because I felt like it should be there any second anyway, which it wasn't. So that is maybe not that smart. Marder killing those two, that was big sad. Another Marder killing stuff, big sad. Also Nigel killing my poor Gorilla. Sturmschützen are still good at that range. As I said, I didn't even notice he brought that one. I saw that they died, but didn't know what killed them. So Jessica's then one was it, I guess. And another else I'm doing decently well, but that's about it. And yeah, so interesting game. What have we learned about this division? We can actually win with it. It still has plenty of issues. So this was not the game to show it, but I think it's a spectacle at least. So we're definitely going to keep that in here. I'm not going to do another take with that division, despite me. I don't really like the game for actually playing the division and showing its strengths and its weaknesses, but it's such a fun game. And at the end of the day, there's not the perfect game for any playing every division video because. Like what do you want to see? There's not that many games where you can actually get all the strengths and all the weaknesses nicely seen with an interesting game too. Because of course, if a division kind of sucks, especially if part of his issue is that you're not very good on some maps. How are you going to show that if you're not playing on those maps? But either way, it was a fun one at least, and we're going to go back to the deck, look at things that we might want to change, and talk about that and my, well, final impression after this very odd game about this division. So now that we're back with the deck, let's talk about what I have changed, what I would consider changing, and yeah, what my final thoughts on this division are. Or after this, well, not a really informative game on the weaknesses of the division. But anyway, so what I've changed is I've actually taken the Aufklär and I've not taken it in the SPW 222, and there's a good reason for that. And that reason is that I just realized, as we've talked about in the game, I really felt like I needed more recon. Because at the end of the day, recon is always very important, but it is especially important if you're relying heavily on tanks. Because this is where it makes a massive difference whether you have recon or not, since the tanks themselves can't really see. And since we don't have a ton of infantry, we also can't really rely on having infantry everywhere to spot for us, so we might really need the recon available to us. We could take one in in B phase, but this at least gives me flexibility. 6 is already twice the amount we had, and this gives me some flexibility of using the battle where I really want to radio as well, which I think is overall a better way of doing it. Now, other changes I haven't really made. What I would consider changing, now again, of course, the Königstieger is something that you can absolutely consider. Again, this division is not really made for the areas where you want to really use the Königstieger. This is not a 2K. It's not a 2K heavy division. At the end of the day, you have a good amount of 2K, but it's not a good division for 2K heavy maps. This is what I want to say. So the Königstieger ultimately, like, if you want to build this optimally, you definitely don't take that. Königstiegers are bad in general, so if you don't know why, it's look at the price, about 300 points. Then you need some leadership next to it, probably, which we don't have a cheap leader. So this is the cheapest we have. You can do without, but this is something that you want to have. You definitely need AA, you need recon. And, you know, you might want to have some support unit next to it that can take care, so the opponent can't just rush some units into it. So these are all things you need to take a look at. And it just makes it so expensive. You're looking more at 500 to 600 points. Of investment in total, other than just the 290 that you're spending on the Königstieger itself, and that is a lot, right? It's a massive investment. So generally, by the point you can buy it, or you buy a Königstieger, you've usually won the game, or this play is losing you the game. As kind of the two positions you can be in. So just that. I mean, if you look at it, like look at the income that this is. This is so the unit itself takes 2 minutes to save up for. And then you can probably, yeah, you can wait another 2, and then so 4 minutes, and then you have the whole combination of tools that you need there. And of course, some of them you can buy earlier, like AA and recon and whatnot, but you know, you get the point. So it's really not a good unit. I just take it for the fun. Because I want to take it, but you see that even in this game, I didn't buy it because there was no point in buying. Now, it would probably have won against the doesn. There's no point in arguing that. The doesn will struggle at max range penning the Königstieger. The Königstieger will pen the doesn easily. But still, at the end of the day, is it worth it? I don't know. Because again, it's so expensive, it wasn't needed in that game. Of course, other games can be different. In some games, this might be the only thing they can really leverage at 2K properly, since the Tigers might just lose to whatever is available, and then things might look a little bit different. But this is my take on it. So you can take this out, and I would definitely take the animals against some cheap planes. They can definitely help. You can actually fill the gap a little bit as well. It's not great for anti-infantry duty, but, you know, if it hits the fan, it can defend itself. It's about that. More machine guns would not be a bad idea either. So there's definitely options. You can still take fighter bombers if you want to. Those are also options. Like, these are things that I think are valid choices if you want to make them. If you want to remove something else, which I don't want to, I would definitely put that back in. But just decided that, you know, I have decent A phase, so that kind of has to be enough. I still value those over the recon tank one because they are at least cheap and we get one more. So that's the reason for that. But those are changes that I would be interested in making. Otherwise, in the tank type, there's not really anything I want to change here, other than the Königstieger. There's not really anything I want to change in any of those tabs. Otherwise, I really felt like the Hummel, not just because we actually used it, I think it's really a nice addition. The problem is if you only have 81 more than Nebelwerf, is this thing is expensive and it eats through ammo super fast. So you want to use this to the best effect. So going after one of those mortars in the backline is really not what you want to use this for. Going after the 88, on the other hand, you want to use this for that. But so for, you know, something like that, using the 150 is actually good, because these might not be in position to deal with those mortars, so, or it would at least not be efficient at it, since it's out of radio range. So this, you know, those are situations where the Hummel is useful. So I want to have it in there in the mix again, but after we need to have an affordable way of getting more recon. The air tab, I've actually been very happy with this, and I think it's not just because of this specific game. I think in general this is a nice combination of tools that you have here. And again, I kind of feel like you might want to have the fighter. In this game, I felt like it was worth it, just because I actually got the opportunity to shoot something down. And again, our AA is expensive, so if we can establish some dominance with that, that can already be very useful. So yeah, I wouldn't really change that much. Not because the division is so good, but because I think there's not that many ways of actually building this properly. Just to be saying this, I think the division, so on going on to my impression of this, again, it hasn't really changed that much since this game hasn't really showcased the weakness and strength super well. Again, I feel like if this moves in very nicely here, this division is really not made for 2K. I mean, these guys against the Nashorn, they don't hold up well. Now, of course, Nashorn is a special unit that we don't have that many division, but even a Panzer for the same price will be better than the Tiger. So there's really, like, 17-pounders are dangerous for this. Fireflies are, you know, the Tiger will probably have the upper hand, but it's not going to be all that massive. So there's that. American APCRs, American APCRs. So there's just a lot of units that can deal with the Tiger well enough. But the Tiger just kind of lags behind a little bit. That's really the issue. And then again, if you're up against any of the Western allies in the town, it's going to be very painful, because these won't do enough work, and these are not that great for the towns. So you don't have that many light AT options, and you have the 50 cal ceiling with your geos. So this division just struggles all around, I think, is what we end up with in our assessment here. The only thing this division can probably counter is 2 divisions, because the Königstieger should win. So that's about that. So yeah, overall, just really bad. Playable, of course, but bad. That's my impression. What the division really needs, in my opinion, is some lighter AT tools to have a chance at the mid-ranges, or some better 2K and more generous slot pricing. But you also need the additional units for it, right? At the moment, having cheaper slots here would help, but it won't be the end-all be-all, right? Having more recon is definitely useful. Getting more cheaper infantry so that you can take a little bit more would be useful, but you won't make the division super good all of a sudden. I think this division actually would profit. Like, what my opponent did with the airstats, you could actually do this properly with this division, because then you have something that can just be annoying spot things so that your tanks can shoot at them if you want to go all in with your tanks. I think this would actually be a strategy. Problem is you don't have them. Not saying it's the best strategy, but I can actually see them being useful in this specific division if you really want to lean heavily into your tanks. But even then, you don't have a ton of mediums, so I don't really know how well that's going to go. But yeah, I think that's where it's at. That's my conclusion on this division. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and see you all in the next one.